Hey folks, welcome to the Pipnotic Symposium for the 22nd of January 2020. Today we are going to talk about something a little bit different. Today I want to talk about patience, which reminds me of something that happened when I was a young boy. I spent most of my life kind of all over the place actually, but I started out my life in England. I was born in London, and at the age of 3 we moved to the family farm in Oxford. And my dad worked in the dairy and his brothers did other work on the farm. But one day I was with my grandfather and I was sitting on his knee, and we were parked in the field where we kept the cattle, and we were watching my father as he was herding the cattle to bring them into the dairy so that they could be milked. I mean, my father must have used at least half an hour, 45 minutes to slowly but surely and very patiently get these cows organized in order to bring them into the dairy so that he can milk them. My granddad looked at me and said, Sareed, he said, your father has the patience of Job. And I've thought about that many times as an adult. And when I'm getting frustrated with something because it's not doing what I want fast enough or whatever, I often think back to that experience with my grandfather as we watch my dad. And I think patience can be transferred to many things, especially trading. And I want to show you guys something today that I'm hoping will open your eyes to maybe a new way of trading. We have the Pipnotic software that we use. And the Pipnotic software is something that has been around since about 2010, 2011. It's been developed and refined over the course of almost a decade. And so I just want to say it really works. Okay, and you guys and myself, I think that we need to learn to trust the software maybe more than we're doing currently. And I'm saying this because I also feel sometimes that I know how to trade better than the software, but at the same time, when I go back and I watch some of my hasty decisions that I made as a result of me not being patient, I often, 9 times out of 10, realize that I should have just trusted the software. And I was going to show you a couple of examples. Okay, so today's video is going to be very short, and I just want to run through a couple of things that I think will maybe help drive this point home. So if we have a look at this is the American dollar Swiss franc. Okay, so we have a couple of rectangles that are visible to us. Okay, so we have a look at this one here. Okay, I mean the software drew this rectangle 1, 2, 3, 4 when this red candle closed. So when this red candle closed, this box appeared. Okay, so the software is telling us, is saying, Sareed, put in an order to sell once price comes up to this level here. It did the same thing here. Okay, Sareed, when this candle closes, put in an order to sell here. I mean, look what happened when price came to these levels. Okay, we had about a 1 to 6 risk reward here. We had about a 1 to 20 risk reward here. Okay, but the thing is, when this candle closed, I would have had to have waited 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, almost 1 year for my position to be filled. And after that position filled, I mean, I might be thinking, oh my goodness, I mean, that's such a bullish push higher. That makes me a little bit nervous. Maybe price is going to continue higher. And some time ago, I would have maybe thought, you know what, I know better than the software. I'm just going to take the trade off because I don't think it's going to work out. You know what? Patience. Be patient. Let the market do what it has to do. Here we have very clear signs of distribution. That's why the software drew this area. So just leave it alone. Don't meddle. Okay, so I'd have put it in. The next month, I would have seen this, and then I would have had confidence to hold the trade much lower. Okay, and so I mean, this is just one pair here, and these trades don't show up all the time. So if I'm trading one instrument like the American dollar Swiss franc, for example, well, then I wouldn't have very many trades. But if I'm trading 30 instruments, then maybe I have 20 pending orders put into the market waiting to be filled at areas that the software is telling me the price should very likely trade. And so why do I want all of them to be winners? Absolutely not. I want half of them to be winners. Why? Well, because here we had a 1 to 6, here we had about a 1 to 20, and so I don't need many of these to win in order for my equity curve to grow very aggressively. Okay, and I don't have to be right all the time. I only have to be right about 20 or 15% of the time in order to be profitable trading these levels. But the main thing I think that is holding probably 99.9% of people back from trading like this is we simply don't have the patience to wait. When I stopped doing security consultancy, which I've been doing for the past 20 years, I quit doing this 1 year ago. And before that, there was a period of time where I I didn't want to do computer hacking anymore. I wanted to do trading. So I quit my job and I sat at home and I was quote unquote a full-time trader. And it was absolutely horrible. I absolutely hated it. Number one, I had to trade in order to earn money so that we could pay the mortgage on our new home. And number two, I wanted to feel like that I was getting paid every hour, because I was used to coming from a model where my time was the commodity that I was selling. And when you're trading, you don't get paid for the number of hours you put in. You get paid for the trades that you put on. And some trades don't pay you until a month or 2 months or 3 months or a year or 2 years have passed. And so of course, coming from the industrial revolution mindset where we sell our time as the commodity, to a completely different mindset where you're operating via completely different parameters, I mean, it's tough, man. It's hard work, and patience is key here, because you have to just put in the orders, you have to be patient, and you have to have confidence in the probabilistic model that you're operating after. Okay, and that is, we have a high likelihood that price is going to turn here, and that is our edge. And so you put in the trade, you have your risk reward sorted out, you have your stop, you know how much you're willing to lose, then you walk away, and then you go to the next one. You go to the American dollar, Canadian dollar. We had the same thing here. I was working for another organization some years ago, and we were talking about this level back then. We're saying, yes, price is likely going to turn when it comes up to there. So you put in the order and you wait. And so most people, they'll see price race up to the area here and they'll think, oh my goodness, it's such a strong move, I got to get out of this. But you have to think that this is actually a blessing. When price races up to an area like that, what is it leaving behind it? It's leaving a liquidity void which has to rebalance. And so you have these inefficient moves all the way up. I mean, price will poke up into here, we'll see an influx of selling, and then price will often retrace the entire inefficient move that it made on its way up to this area of supply. Okay, so you can trade these areas with confidence. We had this one here. I mean, if I zoom in a little bit, 1, 2, 3. When this blue candle closed, I put in the order, and then you wait. Then you have to wait 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1 year and 4 months for this trade to fill. I mean, that can be agonizing for some people, but for the patient trader, this is nothing. You put it in. You have a macro stance on the future development of the American dollar, Canadian dollar, based on the distribution of liquidity. You put in the order, you put in your stop, you put in your target, and you walk away, and you do not fiddle. Let's say you're getting maybe 2 or 3 or 4 fills a month. I mean, that's great, man. You can live so handsomely based on that, and you can still be pulling in a few percent each month, trading on the monthly chart. And imagine what you can do on the weekly chart. Okay, and so you can really use this to your advantage if you have the patience and the ability to stand aside and not to meddle. Okay, we'll do one more example, then I'm just going to let you guys get back to whatever you want to do. So if we have a look at let's look at the Thai baht. If we have a look at this one, the most recent area that was tested is this one here. Okay, so price dropped. We started to accumulate orders to move price lower for 3 months, then price left. We moved below all of these lows. Price came up to this area. We poked into it. We sat in there for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. You'd have to be patient for 5 months, 6 months of patience, and then on the 7th month after you were filled, then you could feel a big sigh of relief. Price cuts away, and this is telling us that price is very obviously going to move lower. Why? Because we have the lows moving lower. But when this happens, it just gives you the confidence to hold it for another 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Then the 5th month after that, you're like, oh, you have the relief. And now, let's see where we're at this stage. Okay, we have let's say it's about 50 pips. This here, this is 200 pips. So you have a 4-to-1 risk reward. Okay, that's amazing. Okay, on the close of this candle, you have a 5-to-1 risk reward. I mean, that's crazy. Then if you have a 4-to-1 risk reward, let's say 4.5-to-1 risk reward on all of your trades, you don't even have to win 25%. You only have to win 1 out of 4 trades in order to be profitable. I mean, that's gorgeous. I mean, that's absolutely beautiful. Okay, and so Yeah, the thing I want to emphasize here is you don't have to be trading all the time. You don't have to be trading on the 1 minute, on the 5 minute, on the hourly, whatever. You can take the helicopter view. You can look at the major flows that are happening on the 6 month, the month, and the weekly charts, and you can take your stance and you can get loads of fills because you're trading maybe 30 or 40 or 50 instruments. So you can get loads of fills during a month, and you can earn your 2, 3, 4, 5, 6%, 10% a month, even though you're swing trading or position trading. Okay, so I just want you guys to maybe think over this for a few days and see if it's something that resonates with you. If you're tired of fighting the smaller time frames, then don't. If what you're doing isn't giving you the results that you're expecting, then stop doing that. Then try something else. Okay, I think it's Einstein that said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting something different to happen. If you're doing something that's not working, then do something else. Okay, if you're trading on the hourly chart and you're not earning money, then don't trade on the hourly chart. Look for something else. Okay, good. Okay, well, I'm going to leave it at that. This is going to be a nice and short one. If you have any questions, please send them in, and thanks very much for watching.